Hello, hi, sweet lovely people. My name is Jess Marie and welcome to the Art Shack. There's going to be a little bit of change in backdrop for the next week or maybe a bit longer. I'm going away on a little trip, and it's not really a trip, but it's a needed getaway for visiting family and saying farewell. It's going to be a lot of tears, a lot of emotional moments, but I've cried and I'm gonna be crying a little bit more, so this moment is not really for that, but I will say that I'm gonna be a little bit more sad than normal, but I do want to continue filming. This has been so therapeutic for me to feel like I'm able to speak and have a conversation with myself. And for the two people who watch my videos all the time, maybe they're not the same two, but I just assume, thank you so much. And for my my 5 subscribers, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I was stoked to get 3 subscribers in 1 week. I was friggin' stoked. But yeah. So usually when I was younger, I would go away on trips and I'd bring all my toys. Or I'd pick out a select 10 or something, or I'd have an ice cream bucket full of toys. And usually what I mostly remember is like my Littlest Pet Shops. And then when I was a little bit younger than like 8, 7, I had like a lot of ceramic stuff that I'd keep on my shelf and stuff, and I would bring them because those were my friends. They all had spirit, they all had energy, they all had like little names and relationships with one another, and some people didn't like one another. Like especially with the Littlest Pet Shops, that was huge. They all had, some of them had like boyfriends, girlfriends and stuff like that, relationships, and then some of them had babies, which were like smaller Littlest Pet Shops. And I filmed another video and then I was showing photos and a nude photo came up and I was like, oh man, like I can't post that. And so I was a little bit bummed and he was like, I'm not filming again. So I went to the RV and I was getting some more stuff and I was just thinking of my basket of things here and I'm like, wow, I'm doing the exact same stuff. I am so similar to my 7-year-old self, just with the brain of a 22-year-old. It's unbelievable. Playing in trees, not wearing underwear, wearing bare feet all the time, like it's unreal. And just having a lot of isolation time, not having this group of friends that I can socialize with or pass ideas on with. I kind of just floated around and spread my ideas. And one thing that's really different is when I was 7, I was very outspoken. I would speak to everybody and I was never holding judgment. It was like, I just want to speak to you. I just want to have my voice heard. Now it's like I've reined that in and it's like, well, I'm gonna read you and then I'll decide then whether I'm gonna speak or not. So that's kind of a mental block or a mental wall that I've put up. But I have all these beautiful things inside this basket here. And the first thing that you can see is this hanging stick. And Rob sent me a good morning text. I had a very difficult time telling him I was leaving so sudden, and that's okay. So I have this beautiful stick that actually Kennedy helped me make. They had got all the moss, but the moss was so wet when Ken was going around collecting moss, it didn't have the time to dry, so like it was falling off the stick and everything. And I was actually I finished it, and I love that little eye, like that knot in the wood that sticks out. But I finished it and I was like, well, I'm gonna give it to Ken. But then now I'm like, hung on to it for so long that I would just like to send it off with a little love. So I'm just gonna show some of the things that I'm carrying. This one I made a little video on. This is Tangerine Dream and it's so beautiful. I love the color that came out in it. That rock that has that beautiful eye look to it. So fabulous. I actually need this to come off. I know I just tied you on so beautifully, but I'm gonna sit you down right over here. Now I wish some of them had names that I could remember. I'd post them on my social media and then I'd forget their names. Some of them have names. This one is pretty recent and I actually didn't post it. And it doesn't really have a name, but it is definitely inspired by the beach. This little rough, rocky walkway to get to somewhere that's so beautiful, so sanctuary, so peaceful. Just a beautiful piece. This one is Quartz Slide. It's on a beautiful piece of quartz that was collected, and I love how the shell is almost like a boat, and all these little items, this beach glass, there's more beach glass on there, little shells, they're just like sliding down the quartz. This is prom night. It's got that beautiful corset. This one I know exactly who I'm gonna give to if I happen to see them in passing. Oh, I love this piece so much. This is a dried mermaid beach. That little piece of, I don't know what this is, but it just reminded me so much of like a mermaid. That's the piece there. And then this one I can't remember the name of, and I hung on to for so long because someone said that they were gonna trade it with me, and we never got around to it, so I think I'm gonna give it to my granddad when I visit him today. And I love how it's a 360 piece, that any angle that it sits at just looks lovely. And then this is a breath of eucalyptus. It's a dried eucalyptus, and it's just 3 rocks stacked on each other, and I love those little 3 jade looking rocks stacked on another. And then this might be my last piece. This is a little bird's nest. It's got some beach glass in there as eggs. Yeah, it's just a nice little piece that sits and does its beautiful thing. So yeah, I'm excited to have these pieces come around and keep me in company as if they're friends, you know. I guess I am their creator in a sense. I don't want to take that position away from anybody, but I am their creator, and they all have their little personalities and spirits and tone, their mood. So I'm excited to have them join me on this little journey. They're all little parts of me. And oh, this one too, I just dropped it, but I also wanted to take it, but it's drying right now. This one I think is so fun. Yeah. So yeah, there's that. I hope y'all have a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. Smile, say 3 things you're grateful for, and remember to smile. Love you so much. Bye.